I want to start off going over some things that Coach has already kind of talked about, and I'm going to go in a little bit more depth about what makes us up front more unique and more special, I guess you could say, than a lot of other offensive line out there, high school, college, whatever, okay? I want to talk a little bit about the center cadence first, and I'm going to get kind of in depth with it a little bit, kind of tell you what we do with it. I did it when I played for Coach Franklin at Troy, okay? I'm 100% pro center cadence, okay? I think it helps out tremendously. We gave our center this year, he had full go on whatever he wanted to do. Our offensive line, okay, they got together. They were me and Coach Perro, the offensive line coach, we got together with them, and they came up with their calls, what they wanted to do, okay? No one else has any idea. The receivers, we don't care if they know. The running backs, quarterbacks, nothing, okay? So it was all on us up front, okay? So if the center wanted to delay the snap count, he had the chance to delay it. If he wanted to be quick, okay, he had the chance to make it quick, all right? So it was in his. We had a lot of trust in that center, and it evolved a lot. It from when I used to do it, we had one snap count, and if we had NASCAR, it was on first sound. If it wasn't NASCAR, then it was our regular cadence, okay? But now we have about 3 or 4 different snap counts, okay? We have on 1, we have attack mode, okay? We have on 2, all right? And we change it up week to week, okay? Our guys practice it. We make DVDs, okay? Our center records DVDs, okay? And we give it to each O lineman, so they can get with that how that center's doing it, okay? So the first thing is our center cadence makes us unique, okay? Our second thing is what Coach talked about, and you don't see it on these cut-ups that we do, but when we muddle, okay? When we muddle huddle, okay? The bottom line is with our muddle huddle, okay? Instead of lining up on the ball, we're a yard off the ball, okay? And if I'm playing center, okay, my 4 other linemen, okay, my 4 other guys are facing the ball, okay? And if I'm playing center, I'm facing them, and my eyes are on the sideline. I'm the only one getting the signal from the sideline, okay? Instead of having five sets of eyes looking at it, we got 1 set of eyes looking at the signal, okay? And then my voice is the only one relaying it to my other 4 guys, okay? It used to be, boom, we get to the line, center gets the call, he's trying to relay it, the left guard's relaying it to the left tackle, right guard's relaying it to the right tackle, okay? We have 1 guy making the calls now, and that's the center in the muddle huddle, okay? So, for example, if I'm here, the ball's right there. If I'm playing center and I'm getting the signal, and we use all our code words, okay? So if I get a power right, then it's going to be Pittsburgh. So boom, we're on the ball and we're going, okay? Our guys are already facing the ball. Pittsburgh, I say it, we're out, okay? And it's on it. So that's another thing that we changed up this year was with our muddle huddle. Again, if you guys find me and have questions about anything, I'll be more than happy. I'm here till Monday to sit down and talk, okay, to give you examples of what we do with our cadence, okay, and how we do our muddle huddle, okay? Like Coach said, it made us speed up tremendously. And I didn't think it was. I didn't want to change anything. Coach came to us in August. I mean, he had me and like 2 athletic trainers, a ball boy. We were playing offensive line before fall practice trying to figure out if it was going to make us fast or not. And we installed it, and our guys liked it, and so we've decided to do it, okay? The third thing that's going to make us unique up front, okay, and if you guys were here last year and you've heard me speak before, and anybody else, if you heard Coach Moore speak or Coach Schlarman from Troy or anybody like that, okay, we're going to vertical set, okay? And with our vertical set here, teaching the vertical set, and like you said, I think there's probably 3 or 4 teams now that vertical set with us, Troy, Texas Tech did it a little bit, okay? Okay, so, but when we teach the vertical set, okay, why do we vertical set? All right, and you'll see on all of everything, why do we, our number 1 rule, why we teach the vertical set, okay, it's going to buy us time. That's the whole goal of the vertical set, okay? We're going to buy time, okay? As we set, we keep separation from the D-line. We're going to establish, okay? That's our goal, okay? We're going to establish a whole new line of scrimmage, okay? Whether it's going to be 3 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards, whatever our yard mark is, okay, that's what we're going to do. We're going to try to buy time. We're going to try to separate explode, and separate from that D lineman, okay? The second reason why we vertical set, okay, it keeps everything in front of us, okay? And I got clips on here of some other teams, how they pick up blitzes, and I want to compare it to what we're doing just to give you guys an idea of how the vertical set is such an advantage, okay? It keeps everything in front of us. It lets us see the blitzes, okay? It's going to allow us, okay? It allows us, it's the number one reason that it allows us to five-man protect, to free release the back 95, 98% of the time, okay? These vertical sets allow us to do that, and we'll get more in depth, okay? But with the twists and the blitzes, it keeps everything in front of us, okay? And the big thing is, okay, it keeps us all on the same level, okay? And it makes it easier to pass off bumps and twists and whatever, okay? Everything that occurs out of the zone blitzes, everything that we get, okay, these vertical sets allow us to pick all this stuff up, okay? And then down here on number 4, you'll see we feel backpedaling, okay? When we're trying to create separation from the D lineman, okay? We're trying to give us more time, okay? Backpedaling, we feel, is faster than if you kick slide, okay? Backpedaling is faster, okay? Players can naturally backward run faster than they can kick slide, okay? Teaching the vertical set. The thing different now, okay, is we have one vertical set, okay? We have one vertical set. We used to, when we started out at Troy, okay, back in 06, we had two. We had a 60s and a 90s, okay, quick game and a five-step drop, okay, vertical set. We have one vertical set, all right, and there's a lot of other factors that go into it. There's a lot of different things that we've talked about why we do it. The number one reason up front I think it helps out is practice time. Coach talks about practice time, okay? We have one set that we have to practice. We don't have to worry about a four-step, if we're trying to do a 90 set, if we're trying to do a 60 set, this and that, okay? All right, it doesn't seem like a lot, okay, but it cuts down on our practice time. We're able to just do one set more, okay? And you hear Coach always say, we want to be rep whores. We just want to rep. That's what's going to make us good, okay? So teaching the vertical set here, okay? The difference between a vertical set and a kick slide is our inside foot's going to move first on the offensive line, okay? So if I'm in a left-footed stance, I'm playing left guard, okay? I'll go here for you guys, okay? If I'm kick sliding, a normal kick slide is going to be my outside foot first, okay? And then here, okay? With the difference is with our vertical sets, okay, is that if I'm a left guard here, all right, my inside foot's moving first, okay? My inside foot's moving first, so I'm here, okay? I'm exploding back, okay? We talk about shifting our weight, okay? Get that weight to that outside leg, and I want to explode off that inside leg, okay? And the number one rule with the vertical set is all you got to do is you got to finish how you started, okay? So if I start in a left-handed stance, okay, and I'm on a two-point stance here, if I start in a left-handed stance, boom, my vertical set, and I get here, I want to end up that way. I never want to drop my inside foot. I never want to start, if I'm playing on the left side, I never want to end up with my inside leg. Because what? That gives a path to the off. That's the quickest way to the quarterback, okay? So with our vertical sets, and we do it every day, okay? Our guys do it every day. We set 40 yards every day, vertical set. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, religiously. Every pre-practice, we do it, okay? So again, inside foot moves first, okay? The depth of our O-line, okay, between 3 and 5. Every practice, okay, and you'll get our practice, when we do the voiceover, what Coach was talking about with our practice drills, we practice 5 yards, okay? We get 5 yard on the 5 yard lines, and we practice going from the 20 to 25. We explode back, we sit down, and we punch, get our heads out 5 yard in, okay? In a game, are you always going to get 5 yards? No, okay? Because in a game, when you get engaged, that's when you're going to sit down and punch, okay? But in practice, we try to get 5 yards every time, okay? And then, again, we practice every time. The linemen need to be on the same level, all right? It's the biggest thing. And the biggest thing right there is with that center, okay, because that center's already at a disadvantage. He's what? He's already up on the ball, okay? Because we teach our guys, our alignment on the offensive line is we want to be back, okay? Well, our guards and tackles, okay, our alignment, my guard is lining up my helmet on the center's hip, okay? And then my tackle, his inside foot is on the guard's inside foot, okay? We want to be warned. We want to be as deep as we can as an offensive line. Okay, so naturally that already puts the center at a disadvantage. He's up on the ball. His guys are a half a yard behind him already. Okay, so that comes back another thing right there with the center cadence. He can be that much quicker, and he can get back to their level. Okay, and then we can constantly we work on explosion of our sets. Okay, and the worst thing I hated as a player, Coach Matt Moore. I played for Matt in '06, and he would have us. I hated it. We would vertical set, or we would run backwards up a hill. Okay, we had this huge hill at Troy, and we would vertical set up the hill. I thought it was the stupidest thing ever. I hated it. Okay, we'd go 5 yards, we'd go 10 yards, we'd go 15 yards. He'd vertical, so we'd have to go 20 yards, okay? And that was building, that was practicing, exploding out of our stance, okay? Building up our legs, okay? And our guys constantly, at least 3 days a week in the off season, are doing sets, okay? They set up the hill, they work on their explosion. They're one-on-one pass setting with the D-line, okay? So right there, those are 3 things, okay? And again, that make us more unique up front, okay? Our center cadence, okay? Our muddle huddle, okay? And then our vertical sets, all right? And then I want to get into, like Coach said, this is going to be kind of like a puzzle, okay? I want to get into, and if you guys heard me talk last year, and if you've heard Coach Schlarman talk or anybody talk, okay, you know these front calls right here, okay? How we declare the front, all right? The biggest difference for us this year, okay, with how we declare the fronts the same for us up front, okay? We're going to declare it, we're going to nickel it, we're going to 5-0 it, and we got a box call, okay? Just for us up front to know where our eyes are, okay, initially, okay? So that doesn't change anything, okay? Again, let's just cover the basis right now, because in a 6-man, let me back up for a minute, we used a 6-man protect, and we still do have the 6-man protection in our scheme, okay? Last year, our new junior college offensive lineman that came in, okay? The first thing they did was they learned our 6-man protection, because that's the basis of it all, okay? They're going to learn that 6-man protection, okay? The stuff that we went over last year, the Roger, the Louis calls, okay? The back checking, okay? They're going to learn that. They're going to learn that we're responsible for 4 down linemen and the linebacker opposite the back's call, because that's the basis of it all. Our freshmen that came in this summer, they learned that, okay? They learn that, and then we evolve them into our 5-man protection. But in our 6-man protection, okay, our nickel call, okay, alerts the quarterback or the running back, whoever's giving us the call, that we need a call up front. We got to have a call, okay? Whether that call is whatever you want to call it, okay? If it's Roger, if it's Louis, whatever you want to call it, okay? And again, we're going to go, the lineman on the nickel call, okay, is going to go opposite that call. Okay, so if we get a Roger call, we know we're working left. If we get a Louis call, we know we're working right. Okay, we're always responsible for the down lineman. Okay, and that's in 6-man and 5-man protection. And our 5-man protection, when we know the back's free releasing, okay, okay, to the call side, okay, to the call side, in 6-man protection, we used to say big on big. Okay, you're big, all right? And we didn't care about who the backs guy was, because he was in there checking. But now, okay, we talk about MDM, okay, that's most dangerous man to the call side, okay, and I got a diagram up here that will help us out a little bit more, okay, with it. But just remember, MDM is going to mean most dangerous man, okay, and that's what we're going to do to the call side of our protection and nickel, okay. Again, then we have our 5-0 call, okay. We went over it last week. We can make a 5-0 call on a 4-down line or a 3-down line, okay. I don't know why this, okay. All right, it just tells us, O-line, we're responsible for the 4 down and the edge, okay? All right, where our eyes are, okay? And again, these calls are just talking to our eyes. Nothing changes with our vertical sets. Nothing. It changes it just changes our eyes, okay? And the running back and quarterback responsible for the second level, okay? On our box call, okay, again, with our box call, we don't box it a lot. We don't get a lot of 4-1 and just the middle guy coming, though, okay? But a box, again, the O-line and the running back switch protection calls, okay? Or the running back, O-line and quarterback switch protection calls, okay? So we have everything in the box, and they have the edges, okay? Everything inside the tackle box, okay? Well, if we're box calling, and I got examples on here when we pass protect, when we're going against our defense, okay, our tackles are MDMing now on our box calls, okay? They're most dangerous man, okay? Because we're responsible for the guy in the middle, okay? Now our tackles are responsible for most dangerous men coming on the outside, whether it's the DN or the outside linebacker. And again, when we get into some cuts and everything, it'll be easier to explain, okay? All right, so let's talk about with our 4-1 blitzes, okay? This is our base 4-1 blitz. When we get 4 down linemen, 1 backer in the box, okay, and what we're talking about, okay? With our nickel calls, okay? And this is what we're doing this year right here, okay? So with our nickel call, okay, with the back free releasing, okay, again, to the call side, okay, if we get whatever we're deciding, okay, the quarterback's giving us, now with the back free releasing, okay, the quarterback's telling us where his eyes are, okay, where his eyes are. So initially right here, let's just talk about us getting right here. Let's getting us a Roger or a Ricky or whatever we decide to call at that time, okay? We're going opposite the call, okay? So if we're 5-man protecting here, the back's free releasing. Now, to the call side, we're MDMing. We're most dangerous man, okay? So what that means for us, okay, in old 6-man protection, the back's responsible for the Mike to outside linebacker. Okay, with him free releasing now, okay, we're still working to who we're working to. We're still outside the box in 4-1 nickel. We're out here, us 3 for these 3. Now, to the call side, we got an MDM, most dangerous man. So what's that mean to us? Okay, if the back's guy or the quarterback's guy comes up and threatens our A-gap here, he's ours. He becomes more dangerous than that D-end, okay? If he comes and he's walking up, okay, if he comes from depth, that's the quarterback's. Boom, boom, our eyes are here, that's the quarterback's. If this guy comes and this guy comes, that's the quarterback's guy, okay? But with our vertical sets, it allows us to see all this, okay? But if this guy comes, okay, and he's in A gap, and he's walking up, MDM means, okay, boom, we're going to vertical. He becomes more, we're taking the 2 most dangerous guys to the call side, okay? So what that means, so same thing here, okay? Same thing here. So the only way he becomes more dangerous than that D lineman is if he comes B gap, okay? Because we already have an A gap guy, okay? So if he comes B gap, he becomes more dangerous, and the tackle knows that. We're MDMing the front side, okay, from where the back's free releasing, okay? It doesn't matter where the back's free releasing. It matters where the quarterback's eyes are going, and he's giving us that call, okay? So let's look at here some game clips here. So we got a 4-1 nickel here. We got 4 down linemen, 1 backer in the box, and right here we got a backer outside, okay? So you can see here, okay, where we're working, okay? Where the quarterback's eyes are going, his eyes are going left, so he's going to give us a call, okay? So that means, boom, here we go. We're going to MDM this side. We're most dangerous men right here. Back's gone, okay? We know we're working opposite the call, okay? Opposite the call. He gives us a Lindy call or a Louis call or whatever we decide to call it, okay? And we're working opposite, okay? Just like we did in 6-man protection. But now, to the call side, instead of being locked on big, if 31 decides to come, okay, all right, we're going to make it work on our vertical sets, N, we're going to MDM these 3 guys, okay? Here he doesn't, he's in man protection, okay? We work away from the quarterback's eyes, okay? And nothing changes, okay? Nothing changes from how we do it. All right, you see here, against Ole Miss here, okay? Here's your 4-1 look, here's your 4 down, okay? And it's not always going to be a perfect 4-1 look, okay? It's not always going to be a perfect 4-1 look. So our 2 guys, you see they're pressed. Here's the Mike, the backer in the box, okay? You can see where the quarterback tells us where his eyes are going, okay? He's looking left. Boom, he keeps the back in. He always has the choice to keep the back in if he wants to keep the back in. That's fine, okay? So when he tells us Lindy, now the back knows he's picking up anything to the quarterback's eyes. We're still working away from the quarterback's eyes, okay? We're here, we vertical set. Again, nothing changes with our vertical set. He tells us, boom, we're out here, okay? We vertical, okay? We vertical, all it does is tell us where our eyes need to be, okay? We're not jumping out on the vertical set. If I'm a tackle, if I'm a right tackle and I know we're working right, okay, I'm not trying to jump out here, okay? I'm not trying to jump out to the edge pressure. I'm vertical, okay? They got to come to us, all right? Does that make sense? And you'll see some of our tackles sometimes struggle with that. Okay, we got to harp on that, all right? All right, it just talks to our eyes. Vertical, get your eyes to that gap, okay? Get your eyes to that gap. All right, so you can see here. Okay, so if we have this, the back, let's have an example here. If the back free release is here, okay, the quarterback says, Lindy, 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 okay? Let's just say we use a Lindy call, okay? All right, Lindy, Lindy, Lindy. So that tells us left guard, left tackle, okay? All right, we're MDMing. So the only way, what comes most dangerous, okay? We got an A-gap defender. If somebody comes B-gap, he's more dangerous than a C-gap defender. That's our guy, okay? Well, again, with our vertical sets, all right, we're verticaling, getting out and going. Okay, he keeps the back in. He knows he's not using the back. That's fine. Okay, the back's in there for extra. Look where the back's eyes go. He gives a Lindy call. The back knows, boom, my eyes are here just in case anything comes off. Okay, and if we know the back's staying, again, it just turns into our old six-man protection. Okay, Louie, 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 we work away. The back has anything coming off from the quarterback's eyes. Okay. Here's an example, okay, against our defense, all right? And this is on our defense. All right, so we got a 4-1 call here, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4 down linemen, okay? You can see where the back's free releasing for. Let's look where the quarterback's eyes are going, okay? He's going left immediately, okay? We call a 4-1 nickel call, okay? He says, Lindy, Lindy, Lindy. We're working here, okay? We're working here. We know the back's free releasing, okay? So if the back was staying, he would have what? Mike to edge in the old six-man protection. He's free releasing, he's ours, so we're MDMing the call side, okay? And here's a perfect example of it, okay, from the back. All right, here's your 4-1 look. We're working here. You're going to see us vertical set here, okay? Watch. That Mike, okay, that quote-unquote backs guy or quarterback's guy, right? He becomes more dangerous than this D lineman, this D end, okay? They're bringing 6. Okay, we got 5 to protect 6, okay? He says, Lindy, 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 okay? We're gonna let the end man free to the quarterback's eyes, okay? The quarterback has to recognize cover 0, and he has to make that throw, okay? We're not going to let him come free from his back. We're going to allow him to see it, okay? But here's the perfect example of, okay, instead of us staying on the DN and on the 3 technique and letting this guy come up the middle, okay, we're going to take the most dangerous men, okay? So again, to the call side, MDMing, there's our NNN call. He threatens it. There's our 2 most dangerous men to the call side. We're still working, okay, here. Our original call was a Lindy call. Our eyes go opposite. Us 3 are staying here, and all we got to know is that we're MDMing here. Okay, if they're not in cover 0 and they bring this guy right here, someone's going to have to peel with the back, and then we're going to pick up the 5 most dangerous. If they bring 6, they're bringing 6, all right? We're going to take that chance on having this guy one-on-one with somebody. Okay, so that's the biggest difference this year right now, okay? With that, if we're going to nickel that, okay, we're going to stay to our call. We're going to stay to our side, and instead of letting this guy come up the middle, okay, we're going to in it, and we're going to most dangerous to the call side, okay? And again, with our vertical sets, we feel like that allows us to do that, okay? Getting off the ball, okay, getting off the ball here, and allowing, if they're bringing 6, that extra guy into the quarterback's face, okay? And that's just a cover 0 look, okay? And again, if they're not in cover 0, then somebody right here, that D end or somebody is going to have to peel with that back, and that allows us to pick up the 5 most dangerous guys, okay? All right, so here's a box call, okay? So that was a nickel call. A nickel call to us, okay, tells us our eyes are outside, okay, and we're MDMing to the call side. Now, if we're boxing it, okay, and we use this against our defense, we'd put this in against, and when we started free releasing last spring and against our defense, our defense was a straight, they didn't play it in the season, but they were cover 0 against us probably 70% of the time, okay, so stick with me here with this box call, okay, so we put this in against our defense with the box. That means we're going to start making a box call because that Mike linebacker's coming. We know he's coming, okay? So when we know that, our tackles know that they're MDMing. They're most dangerous men now, okay, with the box call, all right? So let's see here, okay, same look. Here's our defense. Here's a 4-1 look, okay? We call a box call, so that means we have the 4 down lineman and the Mike linebacker, okay? He's ours, okay? So now our tackles are MDMing the DN and the outside linebacker, DN, outside linebacker, okay? Again, here's this. We box it. You can see it from behind. We're declaring the Mike as our guy. Okay, so that means here, right off the bat, okay, let's say this was 6-man protection, okay, then that means the back has edges. Okay, the back's staying in, he's checking the edges. We got these 5 right here, 4 down in the Mike. Okay, now he's free releasing. Okay, he's free releasing. We're taking him. Now our tackles are MDMing, most dangerous men. Okay, if this guy comes here, he's more dangerous than that D end. Our tackle knows that. Boom. All right, and ignore the snap here. Okay, ignore the snap, but that's how we're picking it up. Okay, this guy doesn't come. We vertical set. We stay on the D end. Okay, but here's our box call. It allows us to pick up the Mike. Okay, not making an in-end call. Okay, all right, we're not making here. Our guard knows he's not having to worry about a gap because the center's working with him to the Mike call. Okay, we're all on the same page there. All right, and then our backside tackle knows he's MDMing, most dangerous men. And again, here's our cover 0 look. Okay, cover 0 look. If they bait it, okay, this guy drops. We still vertical set. We pick up the 5. Okay, that allows us to pick up the Mike and the 4 down. Yeah.
Real quickly, I'm going to show you something. Coach Yenser wouldn't notice this, but I'm sure that some of you all have. I want you to watch a great athlete right here. We can't afford officials. We bring statues and place them out there.
He does every one of our spring games too, and he doesn't move. He really doesn't. Every one of our clips. So, but again, so but again, so here's our box call. Okay, so when we make a box call and we're free releasing the backs, our tackles are MDMing. Okay, so again, this gap's more dangerous than our C gap. Okay, and you can see it here what our tackle does. Okay. And we felt like we've done a pretty good job with it. All right, we didn't make a box call one time in 12 games this year. Okay, it was only against our defense, but I wanted to show you that if we do, or if we had to, this is what we would do. If we knew that guy was coming every time, boom, we're going to put ourselves on him, all right, and then we're going to MDM the tackles, okay, out of the box call. And you can see it here again, same look, same defense, okay. You can see our tackle does it again. So we're going to box it to 56. We're big on big here. Our tackle knows, look, he vertical sets. He doesn't declare anything. This the guy blitzing right here becomes more dangerous than the D end. Okay? Again, they bring 6. We're going to put the extra guy into the quarterback's eyes. And again. Okay? And the last way that we're going to pick up our 4-man front, okay, is anytime the center's covered, anytime it's a 4-down line, okay, and we feel like that center's covered. And again, it's game planning. It's understanding. Do they always play a shade? Do they not play a shade? Okay, and it's paying attention to what these down linemen do, okay? And our center's really good at understanding this, okay? And if he makes a 5-0 call, okay, if we make a 5-0 call, we know we're picking up the 5 most dangerous, okay? 5 most dangerous. And a rule of thumb we always tell our guys is, and I heard Coach Pero talking, I love it, when this center's covered, okay, when that one technique, he's not playing the guard, he's not in A-gap, when he has his hand to the center, okay, we always tell uncovered guard, bubble trouble. Okay, that alerts him, bubble trouble. He's the bubble player. They're usually bringing something from to that bubble. Okay, that guy's playing a shade normally because what? He's trying to cross the center's face or something. So we call a 5-0 call. Okay, we're going to lock on here, 3 and D in. We're going to lock on to the nose. All right, and then our guard is looking through the D end to the outside linebacker. Okay, and again, it's easier to watch here. Okay, so again, we declare this a 4-1 look. Okay, we declare it a 4-1 look. All right, we call a 5-0 call. Look who. All right, we see it. Okay, look where the guard's eyes are. His eyes are always outside. Boom, we vertical, good. We pick up the 5 most dangerous. He keeps the back in, that's fine. That doesn't affect us one bit. He knows he's not going to use the back. He keeps it in. You can see the back scanning, staying off of us. Okay, we're picking up the 5 most dangerous. All right, we still feel like that allows the back, if he wants to get out, he can get out. If the quarterback tells him to stay in, he knows he's not using them, that's fine. Okay, again, a 5-0 call. Anytime that center's covered, 4-2, 4-1, 3 down linemen, anytime he's covered, we're making a 5-0 call. Okay, and again, that means our eyes would go outside. Okay, good. With our vertical sets, the great thing is, this guy bails, we stay in our vertical set, okay? And our guard knows this guy bails, our eyes are back inside for anything coming, okay? That's what we teach our guys with the vertical sets, okay? If we were a slide protect team, okay, that doesn't allow us to do that, okay? We vertical, he drops, our eyes go back inside, okay? Good. Now here's another one right here. You'll see the back free release here, okay? 4-1 look, they got 7 in the box. It still started out a 4-1 look, okay? So we call 5-0 here, okay? We call 5-0. So again, boom, we're here. This guy walked inside, okay? We know we're here. We're locked on here. That's who we're looking for, okay? Backside's locked on big back here, okay, on the 5-0, all right? But now, in a 6-man protection, we know our back would be responsible for these 2 guys, for the high guys, okay? Now we know he's free releasing. So we're going to MD him back here, okay? And you can see this tackle right here. If this guy decided to come right here, okay, watch his set, okay? He would be able to take care of that, okay? He knows he's not just jumping out here. He knows back's free release and not here for these 2. He's going to vertical, okay? We're going to MD him. Good. That guy drops off. We're back on the DN, okay? 5-0, center's covered. Good. Vertical, eyes outside, bubble trouble. Okay, so the biggest difference with our protection right now with this 4-man line and what we're doing right here, okay, and our base protection, okay, is to the call side or to the back side of 5-0, we're going to MD him, okay, most dangerous man. Okay, if 16 comes here, he's more dangerous than 91 for us. That's ours. That's our responsibility. Okay, we feel like we got a good grasp of it and we're able to do it, okay, and allow to protect it. All right.
Okay, a couple of things in starting off with this. Let me explain to you how the pass protection stuff works. A long time ago, in 1997, I was a high school coach that went to the University of Kentucky. And I can remember the head coach, who was Hal Mumme, who was a great offensive football coach and still is today a great offensive football coach. And I can remember watching blitz stuff, and I can remember the offensive line coach, who was Guy Morris, who played in the NFL for 15 years and who had been a coach for quite some time. I can remember sitting in meetings and watching some of this stuff up here and be going, well, who's going to block that guy? Well, what's going to happen when they do that? Because we don't have enough guys. We need to bring somebody else back in to protect it. And I can remember Coach Mumme kind of just sitting there calmly and saying, don't worry about it, it'll work out. And I remember thinking, boy, what stupid shit is that, you know? And he was right. If you vertical set, okay, like Coach Yenser talked about there, if you're good at vertical set and you believe in it, almost everything will work out. This is the thing that you have to understand as you watch this. There's a couple of things that you need to know. Zone blitz is what it is. It is a zone blitz. That means that they're going to try to outnumber you from one side on the numbers that they bring and force your running back to stay and drop a defender from another side most of the time, or a defender from the same side, okay, to where that they end up with 4 or 5 guys, usually 4, sometimes 5, but never 6 in a zone blitz scheme, and you have 6 to protect those 4. Then the defense has accomplished their goal. Does that make sense? If the defense can force you to leave a running back because of the man protection scheme that we use, if they can force you with a zone blitz to leave the back end because that's his man and drop a defender and have 4 guys rushing the passer and you have 6 to block 4, then they have accomplished their goal. So I went on a mission to try to find out how to beat them in that deal. And what we found out is that, number one, it just doesn't make sense to leave 6 to block 4. It doesn't make sense to leave 6 to block 5. So one day I walk down to Yenzer and to Coach Payro and I say, can you guys not figure out where the zone blitzer's coming from and where they're dropping from? Can you guys figure that out? And they go, probably most of the time, by like what Coach Yenzer said, by studying their tendencies, their charts, by getting, are they bringing it from the field or are they bringing it from the 3? If you can do that, can you guys not eventually make the call to where the guys are coming from? Can you do that? That was a question. I wasn't being a smartass. I was just asking because I don't know much about that defensive stuff. I don't keep up with it. I don't learn a whole lot of it. I never sit in on defense. I don't even know what they're doing. I just know that they sometimes bring 4 from here, drop guys off here, and there's only 5, and we got 6 guys blocking them. Or bring 4, which is even worse. Okay? So what they did was they sat down, they started charting and looking at stuff and all that, and they figured out that about 95% of the time they were right. They could know. I said, okay, well, if that's the case, if we can be right 95% of the time, then here's what we're going to do. We're going to free release the back. You guys are going to make a call to where you think the most dangerous guys are coming from, to where the 5 guys or 4 guys are coming from, and we're going to rock and roll and see if this thing works. Okay? So we started doing that at the end of the season, like the last 5, 6 games of the season last year, and it worked. And then this year we even did it throughout the spring. And like Coach Yenzer said, our defense played cover 0. He was nice. He said 75% of the snaps. Our defense played cover 0 95% of the snaps in the spring. Cover 0, they sent everybody and their mother. We free released the back the whole time. You know why? Because, number one, you know how many cover 0 snaps we see an entire season? In 12 games, 13 games? Maybe 20. Maybe 20 out of 850 to 900 snaps. We might see 20. So why would I spend all my time worried about that? Okay? So what we did is that we said, you know what, we're going to go ahead and ignore it the entire spring, which really pissed the defense off because, they're not going to hit the quarterback. We're going to get rid of the ball. We're going to hide it if we have to, but I'm not even going to hide it. In the spring, I said, I'm not even going to hide it. I'm not even going to throw hot. Okay, y'all got us. Woo-hoo. Big deal, okay? You got us. I don't give a shit because we're not going to see it. So here's a couple of lessons. Number one, don't worry about beating your defense. It's the hardest thing in the world to do. Hardest thing in the world to do as a coach because I get pissed off. I want to fuck them. Let's fucking score every goddamn time. We're going to line up. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. That's what your ego wants you to do, and you got to be careful because I do it too. You want to get to that point that you do that. What you want to do is win your games the next season. So remember, when you're doing your stuff, don't worry about beating your defense. Worry about being sound so that you can, A, pick up zone blitzes and get rid of your backs. And here's how we do it. This is how I tell it. Zach did a really good job of giving you the base. But this is what I tell the quarterback. The quarterback makes a call, okay? And he makes a call whether it's a run or a pass or a screen, okay? And he can mix it up. Makes a call to where his eyes are going to be, or he can mix it up if it's a run play and make the call away from where his eyes were going to be or where the ball is going to go. He makes that call. He then will decide, do I want this running back or can I get rid of him? Now, I want him to get rid of the back every time. I don't want the running back to stay unless he feels uncomfortable, and that's what I tell him. If you feel uncomfortable, just right before the snap, look over and go, hey, check. So if he looks over and says, hey, check, then that guy's going to check release. If he looks over and says stay, he's not leaving no matter what. He's staying in and he's going to help either with D linemen or he's going to help with blitzers or whatever it may be. All right? You have the base package of how to go 4-2 nickel, 4-1 nickel, 5-0 with backs always check release, and you've got that. That's in your package from last year. Everybody's got that. Okay? Coach Enzer's talking about it, and he's hitting those points. But what I want to give you is that if your offensive line and your running back coach are good enough and they can go into the game and they can say, we've got it figured out, coach. We know where the extra guy's coming from. We know how we can make the call. The center makes the call during the ball game or the guard, whoever the smart guy is. He makes the call, and we vertical set, and we get our eyes to that side. Like he said, the protection is with the eyes. All right? So when you see on here, you'll see a lot of practice tape where there's guys coming from everywhere and we're not blocking them. Don't worry, okay? What we've done is we've said we're not worried about beating our defense because our defense schemes to beat us. We know that. That's normal defensive guys, okay? They can't help themselves. They're going to scheme to beat you. They're going to come out and they're going to fuck you up and it's all going to be good and you're going to go ahead and play the next day. That's okay. It's not a big deal. What I want to do is make sure that we're doing what we need to do to get better to beat our opponents. So if you can get your guys to figure out what Coach Yenzer and Coach Payro do every week, is I usually ask them Monday night, I say, have you guys got it figured out? And Yenzer will always go, Coach, we got it. Coach Payro, who is, the full-time offensive line coach, Coach Payro will always look and go, well, they do this one thing or this two thing or whatever. That's a normal offensive line coach, right? I mean, they're never going to get it all the way completely dealt. But we get it figured out every week, and we go out now, and we can get our back out. What's the great thing about that? Here's the great thing about it. You know what defensive coordinators hate? They hate free release backs. They hate it. They hate it when you get fast. When you get 5 guys out fast, they hate that. All right? They love guys that stay in and pick it up. So what we've decided to do is become more aggressive on that, and we always have the best of both worlds. We can always do this right before the snap. Check. Okay? Or he can always go, stay. And whenever he does that, he feels more comfortable. All right? And then the other thing that you're going to see, how I've redesigned routes. You're going to see this here in a little while, how I redesigned routes at the end of the year to where I had a 90 route play side and a quick game route backside. All right? To where that if the quarterback wanted to throw hot, he could throw hot without me having to redesign and change stuff. So it's some pretty neat stuff, so bear with us as we go through it.